Hello everybody, and welcome to another Modern Horizons draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I do want to remind you that if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to get updates whenever I post new content. I truly appreciate each and everyone who helps the channel grow and thrive in this way. And if you want to become one of my most dedicated followers and support me over on patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, there are some exclusive rewards you can get over there, so be sure to check it out. There will be a link in the description down below. But without further ado, let's get into the pack. I'm feeling amped and ready. I just listened to the Lords of Limited podcast, and I feel really good about where I'm at in this format now. And Pyrophobia is one of the best commons. It's actually like top 5 commons for sure. Just cheap, efficient removal is what you want to be doing in this format, and I think that's going to be my pick here. It's really nice to start with a monocolored card. I think Etchings of the Chosen is quite powerful, but I don't think it's as good as it might look because you can't get all that many types of a certain creature, even including Changelings. I think in this pack I go Pyrophobia, then Enduring Sliver, and then Unearth as my top 3 picks. But Pyrophobia, definitely a good card to start with. It's really solid removal, and it's always good to start with a removal that you can use on turn 2. My own experience with this format has been that it's quite quick. There's a lot of decks that can really punish you early if you don't get on the board and affecting things, and so I think Pyrophobia is one of those removal spells that can really stop your opponents from snowballing and also can help you double spell so you can start snowballing yourself. In a similar vein, this pack has several cards that are interesting. Goblin Engineer is not really a card that's great and limited because you just generally don't have enough artifacts for it to be good. Goblin Matron is okay. You can get a Changeling with this. You can get a lot of goblins with this card. Then other cards that are noteworthy. I think I'm going to probably stay in red because the other cards aren't insane. Changeling Outcast is okay in certain decks. Reprobation's okay. Phantasmal Form is interesting, but not insane in a lot of decks. I think Cleaving Sliver is very powerful in the right deck, and Goblin Matron's also very powerful in the right deck. But I think I'm going to start with Cleaving Sliver because you can generally just get some slivers in any deck that you end up drafting, and I think that Cleaving Sliver is a really nice card, especially if you end up with some Changeling Outcasts or things of that nature. Okie doke. Speaking of slivers, we have a Blade Black Sliver in this pack, but I don't think it's the pick. I think there is enough powerful uncommons that it's worth moving off of this sliver theme and into something else. So first off, I think it's really worth checking out this Watcher for tomorrow. This card is very powerful. First of all, it's a 2-drop. You really want to get on the board early. As I was saying, blue-red is one of the better archetypes in the format, according to some people that I really respect talking about. I was listening to the Lords of Limited podcast, and they were talking about how they really like blue-red, and also just it's just this card's just objectively very powerful. 2 mana, 2/1 that draws you a card. King of the Pride is okay, but not insane. Rot Widow pack is also fine, but it's I think Watcher for tomorrow is very good as well, and it's leaves me, it's not a 2-color card, so I could still just play my first 2 picks alongside the Watcher for tomorrow. So I think it goes this card and then Blade Black Sliver, or maybe Eye Kite in this pack, but probably the Blade Black Sliver just to keep me in red. Now, Magmatic Sinkhole is a very powerful instant spell. It can go in a red deck. I already have a couple red cards. It can be cheap removal. I think Fairy Seer is better than it looks on the surface. A lot of the times, these cheap creatures are just not very good, but Scry 2, especially with Ninjutsu, is just quite nice. Prohibit is one of those cards that looks like it would be good, but the fact is, it doesn't get you ahead on cards. It's kind of situational like all counter spells, and overall is a card I'm not super high on. So I think in this pack, Magmatic Sinkhole is fine, Fairy Seer is good, and then Sleeper Pick, String of Disappearances is also very good in this format, just because cheap interaction is key when you're trying to snowball the game and get out ahead of your opponent. So I think in this pack, I'm going to take the Magmatic Sinkhole, and then after that, I would take String of Disappearance and then Fairy Seer in this pack. But also, I could still just be red any other color. There's no real reason to move into a different archetype right now. Lesser Masticore is quite powerful. I'm actually really happy to see it here because I wanted to talk about this card. It's just a very good card in this format. Very flexible, can really go into any color combination. I could still move off of blue. I think I'm not as high on the Cycling Lance as I was. I think those could be a trap for me specifically because I overvalue them. Moonblade Shinobi is quite nice. Ninjutsu is quite good, but and Goblin War Party is also quite nice because just both modes are quite nice, but I think I'm just going to take, and Entwined is really good as well. But we're going to take the Lesser Masticore here. It just leaves me flexible to go in any direction with these red cards that I already have. The discard can help me fuel the Delve, and it's just a really good 2-drop, and getting good 2-drops is key in the format. So Scuttling Sliver is, kind of a weird card. I don't think it's very good. It kind of gives them pseudo-vigilance, but it's not a card I'm super happy to play, even though it does kind of work with Cleaving Sliver. Goblin Champion's a card that I haven't personally played a ton of, but I've heard, people that I listen to say that it does better than it looks. Spinehorde Minotaur is okay in the spells deck. Throes of Chaos is a fine spell. And then Rock's Veteran is just quite powerful. We're going to take the Rock's Veteran because it's a very powerful common and just the best card in this pack, and I could still just move into a white-red aggro deck. That's the benefit of taking a card like Masticore and taking Magmatic Sinkhole over the bounce spell and things like that. So I could still move into a lot of different directions here. White-red is definitely still an option. And here, I think the best card is probably Bellowing Elk or Spinehorn Minotaur. Spinehorn Minotaur, of course, keeps me in a red deck, which is just a nice little upside. It also combines really well with the red instant that gives you +1/+0 and trample and for +1 for each card you've drawn this turn. So I think Spinehorn Minotaur is just a fine card, keeps me in red, and very likely to make my deck. So I think Spinehorn is the pick, followed probably by Bellowing Elk, just because Bellowing Elk is pretty tricky to deal with. But I like keeping my options open and not like overly committing here. Okay, so this pack is another interesting one. I do want to note Bogarden Dragonheart, just kind of annoying, like just a very obnoxious card to deal with. Sacrificing a creature and just becomes a 4/4 flying in haste, so you can just hit them very hard, very fast. I am playing a red deck right here, and I think this is going to be the pick. Morassic Behemoth is a massive creature, but Bogarden Dragonheart is just going to keep me in monocolored essentially. I have one blue card, but it's like not a huge priority to stay mono blue here. Here, I could either take a snow-covered island if I anticipated needing some like snow synergies. But overall, instead, I think I'm going to either take the Quakefoot Cyclops just to stay red, or maybe the Twin Silk Spider or the Unearth. Let's just take the Quakefoot Cyclops as just another red card. I'm just trying to keep my options as open as possible. I could be a red-white deck. I could be a red-blue deck. I could still go a lot of directions, but I think red-white would probably be more ideal, just given the cards I have. This Sliver is pretty good. Goblin Engineer is not really where I want to be, but this blue card could be a nice little signal. This is a fine option, but I think we're just going to take the Sand Sprinter. This card is going to work nicely in a blue deck or a red deck, and just nice little aggressive card. Like cycling is just good in the blue-red deck, so I think we're just going to continue to take the Sand Sprinter. So if I end up a blue-red, the Sand Sprinter is going to be good. And Prohibit's not really where I want to be. I don't really need the Scour, though. Yeah, I'll take Scour, I guess. And Goblin Warp. Hey, Goblin War Party got auto-selected for me. That was kind of neat. Whew, that was clutch. So I got the card that I wanted from those packs. Whoa, Morophon the Boundless. So this card is interesting. I don't think it's insane or anything. I think we're just going to take a... Actually, oh man, this pack is unbelievable. So Fact or Fiction is just tons of great card draw. But I kind of just want to... I'm just kind of getting a vibe that Pyrophobia would be good to take. Obviously, Fact or Fiction is a great card, but I'm not even sure if blue's open. There's another Lesser Masticore as well. So these are my cards that aren't red. My red cards are all pretty solid. These are mostly going to get cycled, I believe. So we'll put them at the 1-drop slot. They fill my graveyard. They gave me my good cards. So Fact or Fiction is obviously powerful. Lesser Masticore is obviously quite powerful. And then Pyrophobia is very good as well. Since we aren't even sure which direction we're going, let's just take the Pyrophobia. Man. Yeah, I'm just going to get the removal. Fact or Fiction is really good, but we're just going to pass up on it. What's this do? 2 less if there's a land in my graveyard and it's a battlefield. You have to deal 2 damage to any target. So I could get a land in my graveyard somehow. There's also a Lancer Sliver, which is a nice little combination with the Cleaving Sliver. We'll move those over 1. I'm going to shrink these a little tiny bit so you can just see them all a little bit better. And then we are going to put our cards like this. Okay. So this card probably the pick just because it's a red card, and I might find a way to get land into the graveyard. Though Lancer Sliver is also kind of appealing just because it's another sliver for my Cleaving Sliver. I could also see taking Putrid Goblin. I'm just going to take the Lancer Sliver. I think it's most likely that I end up in white-red. And then Enduring Sliver is a quite powerful card. There's another Fact or Fiction? Jeez. Oh my goodness. I could just move back into blue. There's another Watcher for tomorrow as well. The thing is, Fact or Fiction is just quite slow, and I don't really like being slow because a lot of my red cards want to be more aggressive, and you don't really want to be doing 2 things at once in this format, I don't think. Volatile Claws is a really nice combination with Cleaving Sliver, so maybe I can wheel that. That would be a really nice pickup. I kind of just want to take the Watcher for tomorrow at this point. It's just a very powerful card, and I think blue's going to be really open this pack. I Dream. Splice onto Instant Sorcery. That's pretty nice, but I think I'm just going to take another Cleaving Sliver here. The more Cleaving Slivers you get, the better, and works really well. Mother Bear is also quite good, but we're not really going to move into green. We did miss out on a Fact or Fiction, and I know I'm going to get some people in the chat that think that was just obviously the correct pick, but we're just going to take Cleaving Sliver here and stabilize into this red deck. Ooh, a String of Disappearance is quite nice. Also, Hollowhead Sliver is really nice. Given the fact that I already have 2 slivers here, Scour's probably making the deck, or maybe making the deck. Hopefully not, though. I think String is a fine card. Also Hollowhead, just because I have 2 Cleaving Slivers and it draws me. I'm just going to take the Hollowhead. I normally would take String, but because I have these red slivers and I could still just move out of blue, the Hollowhead seems like the pick to me. Winter's Rest, not a card I'm a huge fan of. And I think Quakefoot Cyclops is going to be okay. A fine pickup. Nice little top end for a deck once you get some slivers going. I could just play mono red at some point, but I don't think that's going to be worth it in the long run. So this card essentially has dash, but I think the cycling for 1 is going to be worth it a lot of the time. Turn on some synergies potentially, like Spinehorn Minotaurs. And the Quickfoot Cyclops, or just a Fairy Seer or a Choking Tether is probably not Cunning Evasion. That's not really the card I'm looking for here. Snow-Covered Mountain, I don't really have any things that need mountains. I think this Magmatic Sinkhole is actually going to be pretty decent. I think we're just going to take the Fairy Seer, though. It sets me up for future draws. It can scry me into synergy pieces, get rid of some extra lands. And Choking Tethers, while it's okay, we already have a couple cards that do very similar things. So we're just going to take the Fairy Seer. This is an interesting spot. I think the Factor Fictions are very defensible picks. But I think that card is just very powerful in a vacuum, whereas in the format, you want to be doing things that will affect the board. I'd rather be casting like a Cleaving Sliver that gives my Hollowhead Sliver +2/+0, I think, a lot of the time. Though I could be wrong. I'm still relatively new to the format, and I'm just trying to apply a lot of the knowledge that I've learned. And I also didn't get a huge amount of blue vibes pack 1, so I wasn't really sure I wanted to move into blue pack 2. But a couple Watcher for Tomorrow has kind of convinced me that's just a very powerful card. I did get a very powerful card pack 1. Lesser Masticore was also an interesting option, so. The discard actually kind of helps fuel my delve. Things like that. And another Spinehorn Minotaur. I'm fine picking one of those up. Don't really need a Lava Dart, I don't think. The Garden Dragonheart doesn't really have a ton of great things to sacrifice, which is a little bit of a problem. Though it can sacrifice the Watcher for Tomorrow to help me draw that card. So I might not want the Garden Dragonheart. So, yeah, it's still just a fine card. I just have to make sure I pick up some stuff that works with it. Goblin War Party works with it pretty well. Hopefully we wheel that card that makes all of our stuff into slivers, because that works really well with our Cleaving Slivers, and then we can just have a nice little combination going. Okay, Phantasmal Form, that's a fine option for our kind of aggressive blue-red deck. There's another Snow-Covered Island, but I think we just want to be taking spells. I've fallen into the trap of taking the Snow-Covered lands for no real reason over spells, and I think I'd rather just not do that anymore. So we're going to sort the cards based on where they fall in our curve a lot of the time. So this is still a 5-drop. And Phantom Ninja, not really a huge fan. Spell Snuff, not really a huge fan either, but I guess we'll take the Phantom Ninja. It can't be blocked, which is kind of a nice upside. It is a double blue card, though, so we're probably not going to play it. Now this is where things get tricky, because it kind of just auto-picks a lot of my stuff for no real reason, which I don't fully understand why it does that. This pack we could still move back into white, though. This third pack, depending on what we open, which is kind of interesting. Maybe an argument for taking that other Masticore over the Watcher for Tomorrow. Magmatic Sinkhole came back, though there's also a Volatile Clause. We're just going to take Volatile Clause. It's weird to say, but Volatile Clause is going to be insane in this deck with 2 Cleaving Slivers, a lot of small creatures. At least I think it's going to be good. It's a nice thing to try out, I think, for sure. We already have one Magmatic Sinkhole. These cards get much worse in multiples because it's hard to delve infinite times. Everdream's interesting. Let's just take Geomancer's Gambit for a sideboard card. I hate this. I don't know what's happening. It just literally just auto picks the cards for me at the end of the pack, which is so dumb. Because there are relevant decisions to be made. Geomancer's Gambit is a fine sideboard card. Okay, so what's going on in this pack? There's another Cleaving Sliver, which will be really good. Tribute Mage is really cool because it can get a lesser Masticore, which is just a nice little option. Though I think Tribute Mage should wheel. Nobody else is going to really want this card, so I can afford to take another Cleaving Sliver and just really go get a bunch of slivers this pack. If I see any red slivers, I'll just take those. Wait, what's this? Oh, this is a really powerful card, but it's not in my colors. So I think this pack is pretty clear. Cleaving Sliver followed by the Tribute Mage. Cleaving Sliver just works really well in multiples, works really well with Volatile Claws, and as a card that I'm really trying to build around here. And I could still move out of blue technically, even though I don't think that's very likely at this point. It could still happen. I have a Lancer Sliver I could definitely add. Get Imposter with the 6 Pride back, maybe. We're going to take the Cleaving Sliver, see what happens. Hopefully wheel the blue card that lets me find my Lesser Masticore, because that's just a fine value play and nobody else would really want it. Unless there's another blue player that took the other Masticore. Whoa, Thunderington, this is a great payoff for my deck colors, and this is going to solidify me into blue-red. I have a decent number of Cyclers to help this deal multiple damage a turn, and this is just a very powerful card. So we're going to take the Thunderington here over the Aura Scale Guardian. We don't really have ways to put this into our graveyard, lands into our graveyard. String of Disappearance is probably my second pick out of this pack, but pretty happy to get a late Thundering Djinn. And Lonely Sandbar is excellent. I think it's definitely the pick. Yeah, Scour isn't what I'm not playing one anyway. Yeah, Phantasmal Form is interesting, but definitely just slamming this Lonely Sandbar. And I think I have one card that cares about having lands in my graveyard. Maybe. I guess it works decently with Sinkhole. But yeah, nothing other than that. Yeah, we'll just take this Lonely Sandbar. Be pretty happy about it. And it just works with some Thundering Djinn and things like that. So Goblin War Party number 2. Pretty happy with that one. I'm trying to just avoid taking like snow stuff and things like of that nature. And Goblin War Party is just a fine card to pick up for this type of deck. Works really well with the Volatile Claws, Cleaving Sliver plan, which definitely could come together. Scour of all possibilities could help me find my combinations and works well with Thundering Djinn type stuff. I don't think we're that deep to want a Geomancer's Gambit. But I really like where we're at with this deck so far. Now there's really no reason not to take the Snow-Covered Island. Just to spread confusion among my foes, I guess. I don't really want a Lava Dart. I don't like Lava Dart. Snow-Covered Island is just a fine option. I don't like Winter's Rest all that much either. Even though it's cheap interaction, I got these Pyrophobias for that. I'm actually not regretting the Fact or Fiction pick. The Pyrophobias are so key. It's like unbelievable how important it is to interact on turn 2. Like, yeah. Ooh, this is kind of a cool pick. There's a, not rebuild. The Choking Tether is the one I'm thinking about. What's this do? Oh, that's kind of a cool effect. I like it. But I think Choking Tether is a pretty cool card for this deck because cycling it can maybe get some big attacks, can draw you an extra card for your Spinehorn Minotaurs. So you can even enable them on defense sometimes, maybe. I don't really need to take a Sand Sprinter. So we'll take a Choking Tethers. Another Goblin War Party is pretty nice. Just really helps you gum up the board and then win the game later. They work really well in multiples. They also work really well with this Volatile Claws. I'm actually really liking the Volatile Claws pickup because even now it just works really well with the Goblin War Parties and the Cleaving Slivers. I only have one other sliver, so I have 4 slivers. But even just a 4-mana 4/2 is fine. Mox, Tantalite. Yeah, I don't really want that. I'm just going to take a Goblin Champion. It's just kind of a nice effect to have in this deck because it works well with these like War Party tokens. They can attack for an extra 1. It works with like just a lot of my stuff, so I'll just do the War Party here. Works nicely. I guess it doesn't work with that, but and now we get a Snow Cover. Oh, no, we got the Tribute Mage back. Perfect. Perfect. This deck really came together. I'm very happy with it. We have a lot of cool little options to work for. Yeah, we don't need it. We'll take the Aura Scale Guardian. And I guess we'll take Prohibit in case my opponent has a really powerful card that I need to counter. Because I already have a copy of Scour. And I don't even think it's going to make the cut anyway. I don't think Quakefoot is either. At least not all 3. We definitely have a lot of playables in this pack, and I'm very happy with how this deck came together. I'm really happy with how I drafted it. I'm overall just very pleased. I think Phantasmal Form is going to be fantastic with all these goblins I have running around. And it draws me a card, so can't be that bad anyway. We'll just take the ramp, I guess. And now it's just auto-picking me black cards. I don't like this at all. It kind of blows my mind that Magic Online does this to me. Not like me specifically, like just that it does it in general. I actually like the Watcher for Tomorrow over Fact or Fiction pick a decent amount. I don't know why. It just feels right. Don't really want Ignis Elemental. I guess that was the card I was thinking about. That works with Snow-Covered Island, but we only have one land that it works with, so. Okay. Okie doke. We're going to move this to the upper corner. I'm very happy with how this draft went. Even if we lose all of our matches, this draft, I'm very pleased I feel like I learned a lot from my previous mistakes, and this draft ended up going quite well. We're definitely not playing all 3 of those. We don't want double blue 3 drops. We're not playing Prohibit in the main deck. What was the last card that auto-picked me? I guess we'll figure it out. Lonely Sandboys definitely make it. Snow-Covered Island is probably going to make it just because no reason not to play it. Keep your opponent guessing. I like my 2 1-drops. Scours on the cutting block. Let's put the cutting block cards there. Watchers definitely not. All my proactive 2-drops are not. Phantasmal Form seems great in this deck. Regarding Dragonheart doesn't. Regarding Dragonheart actually seems quite good with these Goblin War parties, so I'll keep it. Hollowhead Sliver is good because I have these other slivers. Spinehorn Minotaur is on the chopping block, just because I have other powerful 3-drops. I guess these are just 1-drop cyclers a lot of the time. I'm not really casting them ever, so I think I'm just going to cut them. I don't really ever want that effect. And I have a lot of cyclers that cost 2 mana that are just as good or very fine. I'm going to put all my cycler cards that I'm primarily cycling over here. I'm primarily cycling that. I'm primarily cycling Chokeling Feathers. I have 3 Spinehorn Minotaurs, so that's on the chopping block. I'm probably going to end up running 1 of them. Cleaving Sliver is nice. The War Parties are all nice. Thunder Engine's good, and Magmatic Sinkholes. And I have 3 cards that are just for cycling purposes. And then this is 23 lands. Okay, so how many cards do I have that reward me for drawing a lot of cards? Just the Thundering Djinn. And these Spinehorns, which are not like the greatest of payoffs. And I have a decent amount of card draw. I think I don't want to run the Spinehorns because that's just, I have better 3-drops to run. Let's group creatures separately. This is my curve. I have a couple ones. I have a decent amount of creatures. These are all going to count as creatures. I have so many 4-drops, but I think it's worth it because these are also like 7-drops in a way. I don't think I ever want to take a turn off to cast Scour the Possibilities. I kind of want to have a Spinehorn in this deck, though. What's my weakest card? Probably a Quakefoot Cyclops, but I think maybe I should just run like a Scour instead of a Quakefoot, though it seems really slow, and I have a lot of 2-drops already. The Volatile Claw is going to be so good with these 4-drops. So I have those 3. I have that's kind of a combo piece. I think Phantasmal Form is also going to be excellent with all my goblins. It's also kind of a combo piece. So in terms of just pure things I'm casting on curve, I have so many 4-drops. A lot of 4-drops. These are 2 cyclers for 1 mana that I might just want to run. Though cycling for no reason doesn't seem all that excellent. I could see cutting one of these Quakefoot Cyclopses. Though they also give me a nice little thing to cast on turn 5. It's like fine option. I think this is a fine build of the deck. I think the Spinehorn Minotaur is alright, but I didn't get the real card that combos with it. That's actually an okay combo. Makes it hit for 6 in the air. So maybe that makes it worth to run 1. But I think I want to run 17 lands in this deck, even though I have a lot of cycling and card draw. I think Cleaving Sliver is just fine, especially because I have a Volatile Claws. Maybe I want to cut a Cleaving Sliver, just because you don't need 4 copy. I just have so many 4-drops, and it'll be a bit clunky. Yeah, I like that. Sort by color. I already have one of those. We'll add the Snow-Covered Island, and then we'll add... we're probably going to go 10-7 in this deck. Or we can just... Yeah, let's just go 9-8. We need to have access to both colors. And we don't need all that much red mana. We don't have any double red cards. I think this deck is quite powerful. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Let me know if you would have done anything differently in the draft, but overall I'm so much happier with this draft than my last deck. It's unreal. We also probably could have had a really good white-red deck, but I think blue really came together for us. Watcher for tomorrow is just one of those 2-drops that just feels really bad for the opponent. I'm really liking this deck. Really digging it. I think cutting it one of our 4-drops was correct, and I think Goblin War Party is just a little bit better than Cleaving Sliver, just because it works really well with Volatile Claws anyway. And these are a lot of time going to be a 4-mana 4/2, which is still fine, especially because of the combo with Volatile Claws. Volatile Claws, the pickup of that versus Magmatic Sinkhole was interesting, but I think it really ended up working out because Goblin War Party works really well with Volatile Claws. I'm glad the auto picker like weird it glitchy thinged and like made us have all these random blue cards that we didn't even ask for at the end, like kind of worked out for us, getting us those it picked us a Goblin War Party late. Okay, we're playing against Let's Be Happy. I'm gonna start chatting with my opponents more. Hello, good luck and have fun. Just spread the joy. This is definitely a keep. We have a pretty solid curve out. We're going to have to play this cycling land as just a tap land, but that's okay. Because we don't have a turn 2 play anyway. Let's just get in the 1 damage while we can. If we draw an island, we don't want to play the Lonely Sandbar anyway, so that gives us a further incentive to not do that. We'll just get in for that 1 point of damage. Ooh, does he have one too? Oh, he's cycling Forgotten Cave. And he's also playing red-blue. Interesting. Let's go. Okay, we'll just play it. We did not draw one of our blue 2-drops, so we were not punished for that line. Let's get in for that damage. Oh, that's evil. I'm liking our spot, though. We have a very proactive board. We have a removal spell in our hand for if our opponent does anything. We have Phantasmal Form, which could be very good, especially with this Goblin War Party we're about to play. He's just hard casting, and I respect it. So let's think. So this costs 6, but we have a discard, so this essentially costs 5. And then if we cast Pyrophobia, we're just going to cast our Goblin War Party. Create 3 1/1s. And then pass the turn. And we will discard a card and draw a card after blocking this ninjutsu guy. Watch it for tomorrow, sure. He has some good cards too. I think we're going to discard the Bogard and Dragonheart. Even though it works well with these goblins, I think all of our cards are just a little bit better. I think it's worth it to rummage. So we could cycle these things, but I don't think there's a huge reason to do that right now. We could also just attack with a goblin for 2 damage. It gets in pretty much guaranteed. My opponent has a lot of mana up, so I don't want to do anything too serious. I kind of want to kill this thing because I'm kind of worried about it. And we do have another removal spell, so I think I'm just going to do that. Get in for a decent sized attack here. We can either attack for 5, or we can hold back with the Hollow Head Sliver. Let's just attack for 5. And then we can Choking Tethers on end step. Quakefoot Cyclops, a different creature. Hit him for 5 again. Or we can use our Magmatic Sinkhole. Okay. Kite is fine. Our opponent's holding up 3 mana. Probably they have a Magmatic Sinkhole too or something like that. 4. Goat nap, eh? You know, I'm fine with that. Sure. Okay, he just wanted to rummage. That's interesting usage of a card. Let's tap that guy down. Nice. Perfect. And opponent concedes. Because we were going to hit him for 5. We're just very ahead this game. So let's always look at your opponent's sideboard on Magic Online, because that's just a good opportunity. Goat Nap, Choking Tethers, Moonblade Shinobi. So we want to block his creature so we can't ninjutsu this out. It costs 3 to ninjutsu, especially a combo with Watcher for tomorrow. So we really want to have blockers early. Okay. So do we have any 2-drop blockers we can bring in? Prohibit's not really what we want. Cleaving Sliver seems worse in this matchup because my opponent has a 2-1 that trades with it very favorably. But it's probably worth running because our 1-1s trade with his guy very favorably. I'm not liking the Begarden Dragonheart because it doesn't block his 2-1 as well. Let's just bring in a 2-3 instead. And let's just run it like that. The 2-3 just because we don't want to have his 2-1 just attacking in with no consequences. We'll happily keep this hand. We're going to lead with either Watcher or Pyrophobia. If he plays a Watcher, then we're going to have to play a Pyrophobia on it, I think. Because we can't afford to have him getting it to Shinobi it back. Orcish Hellraiser, sure. Orcish Hellraiser is one of those cards that I think is bad enough that I can afford to watch it for tomorrow. Like, sure, he could ninjutsu it back, but you can't always play our ninjutsu. So what's this do? So when it dies, put the exile card in my hand. The rest go on the bottom of my deck. Let's just get a mountain. I feel like this is going to die soon, and I'm going to want to have lands. So yeah, he can't even ninjutsu it this turn, so we're fine on that count. And next turn we can just kill the Orcish Hellraiser with our Pyrophobia. This is why Pyrophobia is so good, by the way. Perfect, we hit a land drop. Let's just kill it. Like now he has like no board state. His ninjutsu is not something we'll have to worry about. And yeah, I'd rather just get that through. Ooh, powerful card. Spinehorn, Minotaur, sure. We just keep hitting our land drops, which is so good. I think we will attack, and then we can use our Phantasmal Form. But because of that, we're just going to play our Fairy Seer. If he doesn't, definitely bottom top. If he does block, we're going to use our Phantasmal Form, even though it does get a little bit wrecked by bounce. But as is, we can now play our Masticore and discard our... I think Goblin War Party is probably the discard. Quakefoot Cyclops is probably worse. We could have also just played Goblin War Party that turn, but I think it's probably best to get the Masticore out because that just really threatens a lot of the things he could play. And we'll let him get his ninjutsu guy because the 1/1s just died to the Masticore anyway. And if he's ninjutsuing, it's probably okay for us regardless. Yay. Okay, perfect. We knew this was coming. Oh, he's cycling to get double strike. Okay. Oh gosh, we just wreck him now. So we're going to cost 4 to shoot a creature. I kind of just want to play my own Goblin War Party and pass, but I also kind of wanted to start shooting his guys. Kind of just want to Pyrophobia this. We're just going to play our own Goblin War Party. We have a nice blocker for his stuff, and we can just chump block this guy with our 1/1, and then kill it next turn. Keep in mind this land can always sacrifice itself to give him a draw. Beautiful artwork. I'm just wondering whether it's better to show my hand bigger or the board bigger. Wow, that's actually a pretty big board. I think you kind of want to go on one extreme or the other. Probably not that extreme. But you know my hand, so let's just show the board a bit bigger now. So he has a lot of 1/1s. I have my Phantasmal Form and my Pyrophobia, because the board is getting kind of complex. So I'm just going to start shooting down tokens here. Chip in for 1. Even if this does gain double strike, it still can get blocked by a Phantasmal Formed up creature. So I'm holding up Phantasmal Form as well as a Lesser Masticore and activation. I'm kind of wishing I hadn't done the Watcher thing on a land, but that is just how it works sometimes. You live and you learn. I'm always looking for ways to improve the way the interface is. I really like having this card thing up in the corner so you can see the cards relatively large. But if you have opinions on like size of hand versus size of board, let me know as well. Block, 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 block. This seems like a pretty standard, just block everything here. Our guys are just going to trade off anyway. He's only making this attack if he has something. Just finish off the last one. The +2/+0. That's what I expect here. Phantasmal Form, okay. So I got a little bit wrecked there. Not incredibly wrecked because it does have persist, so I can just ping it later. Okay, never mind. I did get kind of wrecked there. Okay, so I do Spinehorn Minotaur. So I'm going to go land, Spinehorn Minotaur, kill his Spinehorn Minotaur here, and then continue to hit him for 1. And then next turn I can I can start to threaten lethal because this is 3/6, 9. So once we get close enough, we can just go for it. Orcish Hellraiser, okay. Oh, he's drawing a card. Nice, nice. Choking Tethers. Okay, that's a pretty good card here. We're gonna have to use this Phantasmal form. Probably to trade with the Hellraiser. Did not want to land there. Oh my goodness. So this is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. This seems just very good to me. Sure, we'll go to 2, but like he'll have to have a combat trick, and now we have him on the defensive. So if he doesn't have something, we'll be able to pressure him and kill him. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. You can trade, go to 1. Boom, that was really good. Obviously, Fact or Fiction would have been better there, but on turn 2, this card's so much better, so. Boom, we really turned that game around. Yes! And we win the match. We win the match. Any changes we want to make? I think our deck is pretty solid. What was the change I made? I cut something for... Oh, no, that was just a main deck choice, maybe. I cut something for another... Oh, I cut Garden Hellkite for another Spinehorn Minotaur. Yeah, I think that's probably correct. The Spinehorn Minotaur is okay, but I think the Hellkite's... I want to try the Dragonheart, I mean. Okay, let's see how this goes. Especially with the Goblin War Parties, it's got to be a fine card in our deck. Ah, he has good taste in emotes. Okay, let's make our hand a little bit bigger because it's the beginning of the game. This is definitely a keep. We have 2-drop into 3-drop, and we have a little bit of flood insurance because the Watcher draws us a card. Not the greatest draw there. Opponent also has Watcher for tomorrow. They have good taste. Hopefully they don't have a ninjutsu on turn 3. That's a fine draw. That's the best benefit of cycling cards. Is now we have a 5-mana 4/4 to play. Definitely taking a Pyrophobia. Bottom, bottom, bottom. That was a pretty good card to hit. Oh, another blue-red mirror. Why is it that I played the mirror match here? Please don't have a ninjutsu. Wow, that's the dream. Wow, that is literally the best curve you can probably have in his entire deck. This is an uncommon, right? Or is it a common? No, it's a common. Eh, still, that's a pretty annoying curve. He just gets a lot of value out of it. And we will hope to draw our Masticore. But we'll just pass. We're still not out of it. He just drew an extra card off his Watcher, which is he's going to draw an extra card, which is really annoying. Because it's like getting a free impulse, essentially. Man, these bugs are just dive bombing my computer. Trying to get inside it, I think. I don't know why. It's really annoying. That's irritating. It's one of those games where if I was on the draw, if I was on the play, it would have gone very differently. But such is life. That's the downside of Watcher for tomorrow. You can't block with it very early on the second turn. Ugh. I could have picked up a Moonblade Shinobi, but I don't think I was guaranteed. I didn't know my second color at that point, maybe. And my opponent loses the card advantage right back. Very interesting choice there. I mean, this card is definitely a beating on turn 3, so it's kind of bad for me. Maybe he's looking for a land drop, but it is card disadvantage because you draw 2, discard 3, so you're losing a card in the exchange. It'd be so much better if it was just draw 2, discard 2, but that's not really the way Bazaar works. That's a reference to the Bazaar of Baghdad, I think. The vintage card. It's funny that they used a real city name on it, Magic card. I guess that's how Arabian Nights worked. I think it was from Arabian Nights. I actually have no idea. I'm going to start talking about old Magic cards because I know what the reference is, but I'm kind of messing it up. Crypt Rat, so they're playing black mana. Diabolic Edict. Scour. So Scour is a fine card to discard. Okay, they got me. Okay, that's a fine option as well. We'll get in for 2. If he blocks with the Bazaar, we will cycle a Cyclops. Otherwise, we'll just play Hollowhead Sliver. Hold up the bounce spell. That's the only card you can cast for single blue. This is a really good card in this situation because we can just start hard casting quick for Cyclopses. And hitting my opponent for large amounts of damage. Okay, quick for Cyclops got a lot worse very quickly. Cast it. Make it so these 2 1/1s cannot block. Attack with both of our guys. We're going to hope to finish him off with a big Goblin War Party, which means we have to not die. We're at a functional 9. He's hitting us for 4 in the air every turn. So it's kind of sketchy. Also, we really want this Watcher to die. So he cycles that, gives his Moonblade thing flying. Oh, he gives Sling Gang flying. That's weird to me. We can also just use this second mode. +1/+1 in haste. Oh my gosh, that's why he did it. That's irritating. So we have to go for the win this turn. Unfortunate. Yeah, we just can't win. Like, we give everything +1/+1. We technically could, but he's just going to block. We can stop this from blocking. He blocks this, this, and this. And he just takes 3. Okay, so he's got a lot of stuff that I need to be able to deal with early. Prohibit's kind of an interesting option on the play. Quakefoot doesn't seem as good. 2/3 seem decent in the matchup. Cut one of these for a 2/3, I think. Actually, for Prohibit. Just want an early interactive spell. Dang it. That's really unfortunate. These bugs, man. Man, it's really unfortunate to be on the draw in a match like that. Garden True Dragonheart's not as good here, I don't think. I'd probably rather have just a random 2/3. I guess getting flying could be good against the 3/4 flyer. Phantasmal Form could do good work as well. This was Crypt Rats and a way to make me sacrifice a creature that I play, so Lesser Masticore gets a little bit worse. I don't know if he has bounce though, so Lesser Masticore might just be fine. He has a lot of ninjutsu, which is worrying. Very worrying. I wonder if I could like mana screw him with Geomancer's Gambit, but that seems very unlikely, so it's not worth going for. Yes, I would like to play first this time. And this is a fine keep. It doesn't have blue mana yet, but we have mostly red cards, and turn 1 Goblin Champion could be decent. If we do draw an island on our first draw step, it becomes a great, like, powerful, super good hand. So we're going to attack, and then end the turn, and then I'll cycle this Quakefoot Cyclops to draw a card. Sure, cannot block. That's a fine card to draw, if not an island. Just attack instantly. Got him. Unfortunately, he gets the ninjutsu now. Maybe I was just supposed to kill it with Pyrophobia. Seems a bit bad to do that, though. Okay, we'll kill it with Pyrophobia this turn now that he's like wasted a turn not doing anything. And hopefully we can draw an island to get a Watcher for tomorrow as well. Out on the battlefield, or hold up Prohibit. Okay. Guess Pyrophobia, hold up Magmatic Sinkhole it is. Oh, he can't hold a Magmatic Sinkhole. Shoot. Well, opponent did not hit a land on their turn. Actually, they went second, so they couldn't have hit a land, but... That's brutal. Oh, man. I really wish we'd hit an island there. But, you know, you can't always hit exactly what you want. Otherwise, the game wouldn't be fun. Oh, that's brutal. That's an ouchies. That card's kind of a scary card. Ouch. I hope they don't pull off that sweet combo they did last game with like the cycle into ninjutsu. They don't have any of their red mana. They are missing red mana, but they could totally pull off that cycle to give it flying into ninjutsu type stuff that they did last time. Oh, of course they're going to do it. Gosh, darn it. Opponent is on the next level. Their mana screwed too, though. But they got me. They got me good. Rats. Yeah, I did keep a sketchy hand, I will admit. That's a pretty cool combo, though, gotta admit. If I do hit a land, I can use Tribute Mage to go get a Manticore and start shooting his stuff down. Perfect. I'm not even considering. I think this is just by far the best play. Masticore, discard, Prohibit. And now I'm just going to start shooting his stuff down. My opponent just plays his 4-mana guy. I'm just going to start shooting something every turn, and hopefully that's going to be good enough. This thing, meanwhile, chipping in. Exalted's a pretty good ability. The stories of his heroics are inspiring, though none of them are remotely true. That's hilarious flavor text. My opponent has a very good deck. This guy has a nice little block here. This guy can block here. I'll take like 1 in the air probably. That's all probably is only going to be his only attack. If I hit a land, I can play Watcher and hold up Manticore. Opponent's in a tricky spot. I think this game is going pretty well for us. Lesser Mastercore is definitely a card that I was underrating. It's just very powerful. Gotta be kidding me. Come on, this card is disgusting. So good. Perfect. Creature attacks alone, so it's not blocks alone either. Okay. Play this. We hold up our Magmatic Sinkhole, and we also hold up our. Well, that's an easy pick. We also hold up our Lesser Masticore. We have some decent blocks. Because we can block here, and then ping this with our Masticore. Definitely just double blocking here. What the heck? Dang, there's so many bugs. Sorry about that. I don't know if he expected this double block. It's just a very safe block. We know he has the bounce spell somewhere in his deck. Oh, he used it this game, so maybe he has more of them. But yikes. So it's going to be a 4/5. Let's just kill it in response. Get our little 2-for-1. We do have Masticore in play to start activating it, so. Okay, sure. Whoa. 2, 1, 2. I think this is just a fine attack. Just attack all out. See what he does. Because this is just a 4, 8, 12. And we will pass. That was a fine attack for us, I think. Next turn we can play this Goblin War Party. Maybe kick it even. Just makes a lot of our draws pretty good. Him casting Scour is pretty good for us. Pretty good. For some reason I thought that was a Pyrophobia, but I'm not sad. This is actually way better for us. let's look at the game log. They put a card on the bottom and one on the top. Hopefully we draw a land. Okay, sure. If we draw a land, we win. All you need is land. Perfect. Just how we drew it up. Burn. Perfect. So we do not want the prohibit on the draw, especially. This card just seems a bit slow to me, but I kind of think we need it. I think this card, every time my opponent has cast it, I've been very happy, so I don't think we want that. The slivers also seem a little bit slow and clunky. The Minotaurs are the only card I could really see bringing in, but I think... Wait, what did we cut? Oh, we cut a prohibit, so we'll need to bring in one card. Let's bring in a Cleaving Sliver. We have a lot of cheap stuff, and the Cleaving Sliver still is a really good combo with the Volatile Claws and the Goblins. Oh, this hand is perfect. Sure, it's not ideal against the perfect ninjutsu draws, but nothing really is, so you can't really deal with those. My opponent has 3 colors. Hopefully they'll stumble on mana this game. They kind of did last game, so... yeah, I can't do anything about that. Every point counts. And hopefully he doesn't have that really good... by the point this guy dies... Another Watcher sounds okay. I'm just going to take the Choking Tethers, though. I think it could be useful. Oh, thank goodness. See, that's the problem, is he's like... If he had his ninjutsu card, that would just... This game would just be, like, over, essentially. But as it is, I get to, like... get defensive, get all my wall set up. And then by the time he's actually attacking me, I have a pretty decent attack force set up. He put both on top. Okay, that's a problem. Probably means he was looking for mana. Okay, let's play our island. The Hollowhead Sliver. Attack for 3. The Goblin Champion has been doing pretty good work. I've been liking him. Hollowhead can get rid of these extra lands. We have 3 Goblin War Parties, so there's no reason not to just cast this one. Nope. That was okay for them. That was pretty good, I would say. Oh, they're just casting a spell. The Bazaar Trader, maybe? Crypt Rats. Okay. That's okay for me. Because he kills his own Crypt Rats. I get a card out of this. And I was about to play Goblin War Party, so that was going to be way better for him if he just waited a second. Definitely correct to play the War Party here, because then I can play Hollowhead Sliver and Choking Tethers next turn. I like Choking Tethers in this spot. My opponent didn't have the ninjutsu card before. He did scry to the top, but he probably scried Crypt Rats and a land to the top. Ninjutsu would be kind of annoying here. Yeah, Moonblade Shinobi, sure. Like, that's a good play for my opponent. It's like a good card, but he does have to put himself behind. Oh, he plays it again. Okay, I stand corrected. That's just pretty good. Okay, doke. Gonna play the Hollow Head Sliver, and then we can probably Choking Tethers his Eye Kite on his turn. He's gonna maybe flashback the Scour. He's playing white mana. What for that? What is the white mana for? Oh. Sure. Oh, it's probably to flashback the Smiting Helix. I know he has the Uma's Always thing, but we're still just going to double block. Because that has to be his literal last card. We're just going to cycle the Lonely Sandbar here. Give me my Jin. Okay, that's a fine option though. We shall cast our 4/4. Those things cannot block. Next turn I see the Scour coming. And then after that we can cycle his Choking Tethers. But I think getting this guy out is probably good. Just a big creature. We're taking 3 for a couple turns. But if he's best is cycling that, then we're in good shape. And if we ever draw one of those Goblin cards, that could be really huge. Another one of the ones that made these Goblin War Party. I feel like he's just going to flash that back. This has been a pretty good game, though. I've been enjoying it. Very close, very back and forth. I thought he was just a red-blue deck, but then maybe he sided out of his red cards for the matchup into Crypt Rats and Smiting Helix and stuff. Smiting Helix gaining life is actually pretty relevant. Oh, nope. Not going to flash it back this turn. That's actually good for me because it means that I can cycle Choking Tethers next turn to tap this down. I'll just be hitting him for 4, and I'll hold back the Goblin to block the Watcher. Oh, that's actually a really good play. Never mind, I'm screwed. Come on, Goblins. So I'm going to have to Choking Tethers this thing next turn. Take 2, 4, 5. Man, maybe I was supposed to bluff attack with this. Was that my only out? This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So if I draw the Goblin card, I can still win. Okay. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if he flashes back Scour, then I can tap this thing, and he has 3, 4. Sure, let's see where he scries. Tap this guy. Trinket Mage. I need my Goblins. I think we lost. Just did not have a great draw. Oh my gosh. So brutal. We have 8 mana in play. We just, yeah, drew a little bit too many lands. I think this matchup also just slightly off on what we needed to have happen. So we're going to attack. Yeah, we lose. Brutal. I think our deck is pretty good, but I think they just, the problem is their deck just has a lot of color requirements, and when they hit their colors, their deck has a lot of powerful things going on that are tricky for me to deal with. This string of disappearances was really crucial for them. Crypt Rats was okay, I guess. Really just, it was just one of those spots where the cards you draw don't match up as well against the cards they draw, I think. Scour was also pretty decent for them, I think, because they have those flyers that are really good with it. Yeah, let's just run it back like this for the final round. We just need to draw some of our better spells. If we'd drawn Thunderings in that game, we would have won, for sure. Unfortunately, we drew our like cycling cards without any of the cards that care about cycling. So those cards are just a little bit weak when on their own. And on the draw, we're going to keep this hand. We just need one land, and all of a sudden our Tribute Mage gets rolling. If we play against Red Blue 3 times in a row, I swear that would be the worst. Oh, I should not have played that land. Whoops. I should play my tap land. I was just, yeah, in autopilot. Hopefully we don't get punished, but never punished. Never punished. Perfect. We're going to save this until it becomes like a little bit better. Ooh, red-green, a new matchup. I love it. We're going to cast the Tribute Mage just so we can get our value while we can. And not accidentally draw the Lesser Manticore. Masticore. Sorry. If he attacks, we'll block. Sure, he's going to get some value, but he's going to get that value no matter what. And we don't want to take unnecessary damage while we're setting up our stuff. We have 2 Cleaving Slivers. We have a Goblin War Party. That's pretty big. Let's just play Cleaving Sliver. Hit like a truck, especially if I play my next Cleaving Sliver. So sure, he might hit me for 5, but then I'll hit him for 6. Or I'll be able to block it. So it's probably better if I play Book Garden, Dragonheart, and Lesser Masticore to hit this next turn. Sure, that's okay. Oh my gosh, that's a nightmare. Does not gain trample, but that is a lot of damage. That is a pretty powerful turn, must say. Okay, so don't really feel like taking 8 because then that thing just kills me. So let's compromise. We'll kill this. Play Masticore. Because Masticore can block this a couple times. Discard the Dragonheart. And we will attack for 4. I think it's smart because he could just reckless charge this guy up and yeah. I really hope we draw a land. Luckily, he's whiffing on his lands for the Mother Bear flashback. Oh, we're blocking 100%, buddy. Never fear. Oh, that's a problem. He had lethal, I think. Yeah, he missed lethal. He could have done that. Reckless charged it, flashed, sacrificed this thing, and won. Let's play the Thundering Djinn and pass. Next turn, if we draw a land, we can Goblin War Party for the win. Perfect. Oh, goodness. That's good for me, I think. I'm not sure. Actually, that's not good for me at all. Actually, this is really good for me. So I jump here. He has one bear left, and if I draw a land, I win. Choking Tethers. Okay, I think that's still good enough. To any target? Actually, that's just good enough on its own. Oh, no, we messed this up. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Whew. Because then this thing kills him. Oh, no, he can sacrifice it. Oh, no, we choked. Oh, no, we choked that so hard. Oh, no, I choked. Oh, no, I didn't. Yes, the trigger goes on the stack. Oh, because I could have just cycled this thing. I could have just literally cycled the card to do an extra damage with this to just straight up kill him. But I waited until after. Oh my gosh, that would have been so embarrassing. I'm so glad we didn't lose that. That would have been very shameful. Cleaving Sliver seems good in this matchup. It's just a big creature. Though he's a 4-2 and he's a lot of those 2-2s running around. Let's just bring in a Spinehorn Minotaur for a Begarden Dragonheart. Begarden has not impressed me. In this deck, at least. Maybe in black-red or something. I don't really think it's a blue-red card. Let's get that sweet, sweet 2-1, boys and girls and friends and Romans and countrymen. Oh, man, this hand is great. I believe. Oh, man, I almost choked that last game. I'm feeling alive right now, folks. I'm feeling alive. I'm feeling alive. You have no idea how alive I'm feeling at this very moment. Life is coursing through my veins. Oh, the Watcher for tomorrow. The perfect 2-drop. Oh, so good. So much value. So much win. Play your Mother Bear. Oh, Orcish Hellraiser. Well, I will raise you an Orcish Hellraiser and play my Lesser Masticore, actually, because I don't want to keep taking hits from that. So we're just going to get rid of our arguably worst card, even though it is kind of castable. I think we'd rather not have that happen. And we will just block the Orcish Hellraiser. And Masticore lives on in our hearts and souls and minds and bodies. And in real life. Mother Bear, how have you been? Give me land. I don't need it, I guess. Let's go. We're just going to take a land here. Because we want to just make sure we hit our land drops. So if this thing trades off, we will happily use it for our own devious ends. Mother Bear. Ah, the ravenous giant. So ravenous. Land me. Kind of a land. It's a goblin champion. Okay, so we're going to cycle this Choking Tethers to keep this guy tapped down. And Tribute Mage is pretty useless here. Definitely going to do this to get a land in our hand. I hope they trade a bear. Sad day. I'm just going to make 3 1/1s. I think we're going to chump block the Ravenous thing. Let's go. Boom, it worked out. Hooray. That Mother Bear was very good. Oh no, not another Mother Bear. Whew. This is an uphill battle for sure. Land me. Yes. Let's actually just play the Sliver and then try to double block this thing. Take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then our Thundering Djinn can kind of hold down the fort. Because I don't think he has anything left in his hand, really. Hopefully this works. You never know. Yay, it worked. Oh no. Land me. We are in the classic spot of, if he has removal, we lose. And if he doesn't have removal, we are okay. I don't think we want to chump just yet. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure. Brutal. So this would be 2, 5, 6. So then we pyro this thing. Well, that worked. Surprised it worked. We're not out of this one yet, boys. We want a Goblin War Party. So now we will go block, block, chump. So now we're at 3. Phantasmal Form's got to be great here. We can maybe just kill him in one shot. So Mother Bear is now going to die. I'm just terrified of Reckless Rage, because right now that card kills me, combined with literally any creature. No, don't have it. Land. Never mind. Why would I ask for land? I don't know why I asked for land there. That was really a bad thing to ask for. I should have asked for a thing that drew me a card. Oh, brutal. Creature, spell, anything. Okay. Snowland. At least I have double blue now, which isn't super beneficial, but you know. Oh no. It's happening. We got there, kind of. Unfortunately, we're still getting wrecked, but, you know. We needed to draw a spell on one of these turns, and we didn't. And now he's got his Mother Bear. We need to draw a spell this turn, that's for sure. Goblins. I beg of you, goblins. If you have a heart, give me a goblin now. Da 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 da. Goblins right now. Quakefoot Cyclops. We're not dead. We're alive. We are alive, alive, alive. It's crazy that we are alive. We are no longer alive. Oh, we are no longer alive at all. Sad day. Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's good to speak with you again. Okay. So let's see what we can do here. Scour seemed a little slow. Huh. I think we just want to run it back. I think we got this. I believe in the heart of the cards. Actually, this sliver seems really bad. I'd probably rather just have a scour. Gives us a little bit of a late game kick that we were missing behind our Thundering Djinn. On the play, we can afford it, I think. This is the final game with this deck. Regardless of how it goes, I'm very happy with how this deck got. I drafted it and for the most part played it. Obviously, we kind of punted that first game, but it didn't end up mattering at all because of the way triggers work. But I guess it wasn't a punt then, but it was needlessly worrisome. I would like to play first. And unfortunately, we have to mulligan in this key game. Okay, we're keeping this hand, though. Bottom. We need lands, and we need islands, specifically. We have to hope for no mother bears. Not the greatest start. Fortunately, mother bear is here. Must die. There's an island. That's a start. We could still get the combo here. Scour would actually be a fine draw. Not gonna lie. Garden, Dragonheart. Sure. Oh, Thundering Djinn, my hero. I needed you, and you came through. Clutch. You are the clutchest of the clutch. The hero that we all deserved, but none of us needed. My opponent gets too aggressive. I can end him with Thundering Djinn. I like Thundering Djinn's art. I like the card. It strikes like a bolt from a brainstorm. Did you know that? That is its flavor text. Please no 5/5 on turn 4 again. Oh my gosh. What? Sure, I'll double block. Wow, I cannot believe that's working. That's insane. Oh my gosh, how does he always have it? This is ridiculous. I need Scour off the top. Sideboard tech. I cannot believe my opponent has had this card. I mean, he must have multiples. There's no way he just draws that like every turn on turn 4 for every game. He has Mother Bear on turn 2. I guess he has multiples of those. I know he has multiples of those. Yeah. Okay. I need to find a card draw spell. This is a nightmare. Jeez. Sure. Come on. Draw spell. Oh dear. I do not know if this is good enough, but we gotta hope. Because he's taking out like 4 per turn, so I just need to chump it twice. He has a firebolt though. Okay. Sure. Oh no. Always jump block 5 power, that's my motto. This is so close. It all depends on if we draw a spell here. Come on, spell. I've been good this draft. I drafted a fine deck. I played it pretty well. Just need a spell. Anything would do. 'Cause I'd do anything for a spell. Anything for a spell. Anything I'd do. Ooh, yes. So you can firebolt this for 5, then pump up one of these. And then I just chump block and win. Because he can firebolt this guy. Then he'll have 1 mana left. He can't reckless charge. As well, I have 2 chump blockers. I'm at 9. This puts me to 5 if I take these 2. I just have to hope he doesn't have a reach creature. Please, no reach. Actually, reach doesn't even matter because this can ping him. Just no flying removal, please. If anyone doesn't know, that's the song I'd Do Anything from Oliver Twist. For some reason, it's in my head right now. The song goes like, I'd do anything for your smile. Anything. I don't want to get copyright infringement or something. I don't know if that song is copyrighted, but... And then it was like, would you climb a hill? Anything. Wear a daffodil. Dang, that song is so good. That movie is so good. Dang, I need to watch that movie. That's the progression of my thought. My opponent's thinking about whether they can win. This card is so stupid on turn 4. The might of an army with the restraint of a child. Jeez, that's hilarious flavor text. These don't have flavor text, of course. That one's a good flavor text. That's good flavor text. The flavor text is so good in this set. I hate this. I hate fire. I hate you for taking me on this route. It's Norin the Wary? Oh my gosh. The sick ref. Norin the Wary is a 1-mana 2/1 that, like, every time you target it, he, like, exiles himself and comes back. I know this because some people build commander decks around him. Norin the Wary. And my opponent concedes! Yes! Yes! I knew we could get the W. We got that win. If you believed in me, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, say hashtag ClutchGin in the comments section down below. Because that was a clutch gin. I think that's a gin. Yeah, hashtag ClutchGin in the comments section down below. We had a Clutch Pyrophobia as well, so you can say Clutch Pyrophobia too if you want. But ClutchGin, because he won us that game, he came in clutch at the end, and that is exactly what we needed. Strikes like a bolt from a brainstorm. And that is going to do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. And I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons over on my Patreon. This video was brought to you in part by their support, and I could not have done it without them. They really are the ones that keep the channel growing and thriving and improving constantly. So thank you to everyone who supports me over at Patreon. If you want to do so yourself and get access to exclusive rewards, you can find more information about that on my Patreon page. There will be a link to that in the description down below and in a pinned comment. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it. I remember I was very proud about how the draft went, and even though we didn't get the 3-0, it was a very satisfying draft. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys next time.